ThoughtSealians. I am here with Dr. Kshitij Patankar, and he has been a teacher. So, Dr. Kshitij, please can you introduce yourself?
Good morning to all. I'm Dr. Kshitij Patankar. Basically, I'm a physics and maths teacher. But since my research work, my PhD work is in educational psychology, and from that point, I'm more inclined to understand the psyche of the students, how students think, what academic or personal problem they may come across, and what would be my role, what would be my genuine support for these youngsters to cope up with the confused situation. And I have been working in this field from last 32 years, and I'm enjoying being a student as well as a teacher.
So, Dr. Kshitij Patankar is also a father himself to a young boy named Tanmay, and he has been a support to even me and many other teenagers in our adolescent years. So, let's get started with this interview about Pride Month and what teachers think about Pride Month and generally about sexuality and sex education in schools. So, let's start off with what is your opinion in current sex education curriculum in schools?
Unfortunately, there is no designed curriculum so far, but in general way, these informations are designed by some social workers, some doctors, and some educators also. Even we have noticed that some experts in the field of medical science, the people of the subject like teaching sciences, they have taken the initiative in this field. To my understanding, from 1995, there is one organization named as Search, and this is headed by Dr. Rani Bang, who is working in the eastern part of Maharashtra, and she is been very keen to support the adolescents, the teenagers. As I said, there is a sort of confusions in their life. Teenagers are truly curious, and it is their right to know everything. So, in that process, what correct and scientific information is to be provided for these students. So, Dr. Rani Bang, and along with her, a big team is really doing a fantastic job. However, what I feel, though there are extremely good and passionate work is produced in the field of sex education, I mean the awareness of that, sometimes it is not really reaching with that effect. Reason can be different sometimes. The pathetic situations in some of the places where some facilities are not available, or as you said, no, there is a taboo, there is no awareness, or there is a risky talk. This is what many people feel. Ki, what is this topic? Is it really required to be discussed? And that is why it is not taken with that seriousness. But I am very hopeful that genuine people, if they try to work and support to the adolescents, teenagers, I am sure the teenagers will get the right approach, right information, right knowledge, they will develop wisdom, and I believe whatever problems in future they might go through, they will be protected by that. It's because somewhere we truly feel that the teenagers, today's adolescents, they are the real wealth of the nation, and this real wealth should flourish well. So I will be very happy if I can share what little I know about this field. I am not an expert person in this field, but since I am dealing the students from last 32 years and trying to understand their problems, so I think I got a wonderful opportunity to share something, and I am truly thankful. Rather, I would appreciate to the team ThoughtSeal, the way they are thinking about their problem, but I feel it is not their problem, it's a global problem. So, my all appreciation to the whole team. Well,
So, the sex education in schools right now mostly targets on teen pregnancy prevention and safe sex. These factors have little to no say when it comes to homosexuality. So, wouldn't this seem like forced knowledge on certain kids who don't want to know about it,
True.
or even parents who don't want their kids to know about this?
yeah. So, what should be the thought on that?
Yes.
Because, of course, there is a community, there are groups who are not interested in knowing this. Even some parents have a very different feelings. They feel that the education for homosexuals, heterosexuals, what is the need for us to know? So sometimes they are little passive in this field. Uh, but I think this situation is also very alarming. I truly feel that let every child, let every teenager should know about all these things happening. Because when we are thinking for a global perspective, means global problems. I may not be the part of that problem, but I can be the solution for that problem. So I think these reservations which some people, perhaps some adults, are keeping, that should be reduced. They should be made more aware about all these things. Because somewhere I feel that Indian culture supports the humanity. As you said, mostly this sex education is dealing with the safe sex, unwanted pregnancies, use of contraceptives. But if we look at the ethos of Indian culture, I believe the education should go with a different title rather than saying sex education, because that sex word is very much alarming and challenging. So if we alter some words very meticulously, like we can say the health education, education for cleanliness, or knowing ourselves, knowing our body, knowing the physiology of our body, or understanding reproductive health, human genitals. So I think if that informative and scientific and social touch if given, I think this kind of education will be broadly acceptable. So far, our culture is concerned, we respect everybody. I personally feel that every child is unique, every child is different, and every child is to be respected. So, whatever gender they have, whatever problems are there, some normal, some abnormal, but I think we need to accept them. We need to have a humanitarian approach, then the solutions may come out. This is what I think.
How do you, on a personal level, aim to integrate this in the Indian education system or those of other countries where even the heterosexual intercourse is still considered a taboo?
If we compare with the European countries or the Western countries and India, there is a basic cultural difference. So far, our culture is concerned. We still have two classifications: urban culture and rural culture. I feel when we make awareness, when we talk to the people about this topic, we need to ensure that these are all natural things happening. For example, when a teacher is helping the students, are they not helping the students to know about digestive system, circulatory systems, reproductive systems? So all these things about the new neurosciences. So teacher is quite comfortable. Students are very receptive to understand the topics, because I believe somewhere a true teaching and learning takes place. But when we talk about heterosexuals, homosexuals, sex education, then what happens? People try to reject all these things. They feel as if it is not needed to me now. But basically, they want this education, as everyone is curious. Now, I believe in India, what will happen if we do not educate our children, our students, our teenagers, in the field of awareness about ourselves, awareness about human relationship, awareness about sex education? Then what would happen? There will be many complexity, many social problems will come out, and there will be a lot of confusions. I truly feel that every teenager is basically very curious. If I won't give them right information, being an adult, being a parent, being a teacher, then what would happen? Students or the teenagers, they have their own resources to get the knowledge. Are these resources really very authentic? Are they scientific? Are they designed for thinking of the well-being of these youngsters? So these are the questions, and it is yet questionable. Often it is found that the literature which is available in India is not purely scientific. Somewhere the literatures, the movies, or maybe some sort of documentaries also, some clips, some reels, whichever are available, most of them are creating undue excitements, because the youngsters are willing to get excitement. So there is less touch of education and more touch of excitement. And that excitement only will not create the wisdom in the child. Perhaps it will create abnormality in the child's mind. Some fantasy, some imagination which is vague. And what happens during that age, say suppose at the age of 14, 15, 16, somewhere we are creating our identity. Somewhere we are thinking about our future life. We are planning for our career. We are planning for our own personality. And if the teenagers are confused because of this issue, then they will be distracted. They will be deviated. So I feel the youngsters need to be protected. Now, as you said, who would be the contributors? It is quite popular in the Western countries. There are good resources are available, and the literacy rate, the education in parents, parenting concepts, the modern education system, I mean the holistic system, they are sometimes better at some countries. So they take initiative and they speak to the students in a group, and there is no such reservations in discussion of that. However, India is also promoting the same, but I feel there should be a better intensity. Don't you feel that being a parent should talk to the child at different stages? I mean, they should not, give a course to the child just at the age of 14, 15, 16 and complete the course. This is not the course. This is a very subtle information, very careful talk. So I believe, as we study 5th standard and then we study 6th standard, and gradually year by year we get more and more knowledge. So I personally feel that right from the childhood, the parents should take initiative. Of course, if parents are not very well effective in that case, I believe parents should take help from a good resources. Good social workers can support them. Rather, teachers can support. Doctors can support. So I believe it is an integrated program. Only doctors or community helpers may not be very effective. Teachers sometimes may not be effective unless they integrate. And in that integration, as I said, parents, teachers, the health workers, the doctors, psychologists, the counselors, and the people related to law. Because law is also supporting to understand these things. So I think such genuine people, if they come together, if they club together, we as a society can overcome such kind of taboos, such kind of problems, and we can truly aware our children and protect them. There is no need to directly talk about the safe sex. Rather, we need to talk to them about what is a right thing, what is right, what is wrong, how to identify, how to have good friends, what is the meaning of attraction, what is the meaning of love, what do you mean by life skills, how to take decisions. I think that will be a beautiful beginning, a beautiful warming up from the elderly people in the life of children. And then gradually you come to the human anatomy, the reproductive health, the dignity of our body, respecting ourselves. I think that would take towards the topic in a more decent manner. Yes.
Before we started this interview, you told me a little bit about how do you think the curriculum should be, of how the teachers should be trained before they are sent for sex education classes. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, this is rather a very thought-provoking question. Thanks for that. See, there are certain things which are imposed in the society. An imposed matter on any human being will not work. You know, long before 2-3 decades, I believe, there were the movements from Government of India, and it's an excellent initiative. They felt the need that children at teenage should be made aware about this, about which we just now talked. And then they emphasized somewhere, they forced some teachers to take the charge of that. And in many schools, the sessions on self education, sex education, life education has started. But in that process, we noticed that some teachers did it under compulsion. In short, I mean to say, there was not a genuine initiative from within. So I believe if the teachers, those who are passionate, those who have concern about the young generation, if they are willing to acquire knowledge, take the training, use media, use other printed materials, movies in a very productive manner, if the teachers upgrade themselves and passionately if they take the responsibility to execute such kind of curriculum or syllabus, then I believe there will be a better impact. There will be a better relations between the learners and the teachers. Rather, I would say that teaching values or teaching sex education or teaching life education should be such that teachers should not feel that I am teaching life education and nor students feel that we are learning from teacher about these beautiful assets of the life. It should be so natural that the educator is speaking in a very natural and candid way, and learners are also curiously, patiently and dedicatedly responding to that. So when such kind of bonds develop, when such kind of responsibilities at both the ends develop, then I think this would work in more effective manner instead of imposing. So I would strongly recommend to the parents, maybe some teachers or any health workers, that those who have real interest about the young generation and their problems, they should individually work on that and seek support from many agencies. There are wonderful resources, there are excellent people who would educate the teachers, parents and the health workers in this field. So I think, something from within, something from the passion will work more effectively. Yes.
So, do you think making this a permanent part of the school curriculum or a compulsory part of a school curriculum make any difference? Make a permanent difference?
I strongly feel that what you have said, no, this education must be the part of curriculum. Only its delivering part, the way which is executed by the experts, should be in a very natural way. Otherwise, again, there will be reservations. The boys may find it comfortable or sometimes uncomfortable. Same is with the girls. So, that education should be given considering the feelings of the children, their comfort, their convenience. Sometimes teachers can be mechanically explaining this. Doctors may execute this topic as a part of biological science. Somewhere I feel the way parent thinks for a betterment of the child, so nobody can replace parents. So I personally feel that if parents take more initiative, if they enhance themselves, if they enrich in this field, then this can be thoroughly communicated, thoroughly conveyed in a natural way where children will not feel as if we are learning sex education. So that subtleness is required. As you said about whether it should be compulsory or not. It should be compulsory, but it can be delivered in a skillful manner and not in a pressurized way. In this today's modern time, the media is very strong. The thing which you hesitate to speak or hesitate to convey directly, you can take help from some very excellent kind of material. So I think it should be made compulsory so that every child should blossom, and blossoming is a right for every child. Every child should develop the personality. The child should not be confused. There should not be any wrong information in child's mind. Otherwise, that leads to abnormality. That abnormality leads more confusion, more nervousness, sometimes depression, and they may lead to child abuse. They may become a prey to many unsocial things. And whatever we have been noticing through newspaper, through TV news, or the real happening, unfortunately, what things are reported, they are also very less. We need to make this education compulsory with this reason also. Normally, the law and the society so far feels that there are, some genders are insecure and they become victim. In India, it is assumed that the women or the girls are at the victim side and they are insecure. But other side of the coin is what? Even our boys and the young boys and the men are also not very safe. This is the societal integration nowadays. Okay, the society is changing. So none of our children, none of the gender is safe. So I believe it is very important to make them realize what is good touch, what is bad touch, what kind of situations may come. So I believe through imagination or through some happenings, certain things to be put in front of the students. The Nirbhaya case, very popular. We are talking about Nirbhaya case, but are we really talking to the students to find the solutions in that situation? Okay. What kind of behavior I should have as a teenager? What kind of culture I should adopt? What kind of situations are happening around me? Even what kind of clothing I should have? Though it is everyone's personal choice, but I believe everybody should think positively on that. My any behavior, my any gesture, my any signal should not give a wrong message to the next person. I should not provoke in a wrong way. So if that education I receive, I think the whole education system will be supported to what we call a holistic education, to what we call it as an all-round education. Education is not a meaning of achieving marks, getting good courses and excelling in that. Somewhere the purpose of our life is to lead our life systematically, where we will be helpful to others, where we can be safe, where we are happy. And not only I should be happy, but I should spread happiness. So for that purpose also, sex education and awareness becomes extremely important.
Sir, wouldn't it lead to even more bullying and marginalization of homosexuals at schools and other places?
Surely it must be happening. Why I said it must be happening? Because some people report to this situation, such kind of bullying. They are under pressure. Some do not report. And it is found that only 4 to 6% people who are the sufferers, those who are bullied, are reporting to the adults or putting the complaints in a legal manner. It means there is large amount of people who could not dare to convey through which situation they are going. So bullying is taking place. So in that situation, I think the community people should be very vigilant. They should be very alert, because everybody is a supporter to the teenagers. The school should particularly take care. They should be watchful that is it happening during the recess. They should be very much aware what is happening into the washroom areas. Even these children need to be morally corrected sometimes. So I think there is a important task for everybody, every adult of the society. Then only our children will be protected. Otherwise, this bullying system takes place. Bullying, abusing situations, that leads to sex crimes, that leads to sexual problems, that leads to nervousness, which leads to suicide sometimes, that leads to distraction from studies. They lose their charm in their life, and I think they get more nervous, more confused, and the society will not be healthy morally. So I believe these bullying systems are there. So the school authority, the college management, or a common public place where the youngsters are there, even at the working places, in the banks, in the offices, such kind of things are taking place because of the correction which was not given to during teenage. I believe if we develop the approach of acceptance and respecting everybody, let every girl respect to every boy and vice versa, then I think the crime rate might reduce. I think there will be a good coordination in the society, okay? Because the society is a combination of men, women, and everybody else. So if the respect comes, if the tendency of cooperation comes, then I believe bullying system will come down. If we educate the people, what is the meaning of attraction, the meaning of love, the meaning of temporary pleasure and permanent sadness. I mean, these are the things very carefully put up that would lead to a better society, the healthy society.
What laws do you think, or what changes to the pre-existing laws do you think need to be made to avoid bullying in school and other places of the LGBTQ plus community?
Exactly. Now the community which you have referred, though it is less people as a demographic of India, but there is a good amount of people, and as I said, everybody is to be respected, everybody is to be protected, and everyone is special. So as a law, first of all, that awareness to be created in public about this community, that they are the part of this system, they are the part of society, and there are many excellent qualities hidden in them. So I think education system or the social system should come together to the platform, and this community is to be made aware. This community is to be informed that you are also important part of this society. So there should not be any such feelings that I am different, I am useless, and what would I do? In Western countries, and fortunately in some part of our nation also, they are specially trained by some experts about identification of their strength, about their goodness. Accordingly, the careers can be made planned because everybody has some kind of intelligence. Rather, Harvard Gardner explained about 9 different type of intelligence in the theory of multiple intelligence. So, a law should be there. A teaching system should be there under law that they should support to this kind of community, make them aware that these are your strength, these can be your happy moments in your life, these can be your hobbies, and if the system allow them to pursue and support to their hobbies and careers, then I think there won't be any nervousness, there won't be any such feeling that I am different. Perhaps they will be a very homogeneous part of the society where they will be feeling respected also. So medically also there can be law. So law system need to be empowered for a welfare of this community. I believe in India also these steps would be taking place, and we as a society, we as a member of society, we should be very positive about that. We should not ignore those people. We should accept and understand them. So I think this system can be improved up to some extent.
Do you think school books should talk more about the LGBTQ plus community? For example, in school books in 8th, 9th and 10th standard, we have the reproductive system, which is taught in schools. And even chromosomes. We are taught in school, but we are not taught about sexualities and how they can vary.
I believe this can be a very good initiative by the school teachers, especially the teacher who are from the science department. As you have said, there is a theory of genes, the concepts of chromosomes, and there are a few deformations, some lagging, some addition, and that leads to this kind of abnormalities. Do you think these people are really responsible for whatever they are? It is not. It is somewhere a mathematics of this nature is somewhere changed, somewhere exceptional, or somewhere a bit different. So I truly feel that there must be some topics which would speak about homosexuality, heterogeneous sexes, or whatever abnormality takes place in the children like this, where they are not responsible. Situations are also not responsible, but it happened. Even there are some people who are abnormal. They belong to this community, but they have done wonderful work. They have involved into social tasks, and they have pretty well worked with their life. I think their information, their biographies, their articles about this topic should be the part of curriculum. Now in curriculum there are certain compulsory thing and certain optional thing. So I believe the progressive school should take initiative to inculcate such kind of topics in their optional curriculum. I believe some school, the progressive school should also invite the people who are expert of this field, who are the authority of this field, who have the concern about this kind of group. So their interactions, their visit and their guidelines would help to the society and to the school. So I think this is a good initiative most of the schools can take.
Sometimes for certain students who cannot talk about certain things at home, teachers feel like a safe space to talk about things. We call teachers our second parents, and that makes the classroom feel like a safe space where they can talk about certain things. So, has any student ever come to you to ask about these topics, or has any student ever come out to you as a part of this community?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough that my most of the teaching career was in the residential campus where students stay together and we also the part of their family. Rather, we became a parent for thousands of children. And my bonding with every child was very healthy. And I had openly conveyed to them that see, you are away from the parent. But as you said, the teachers are second parent. So they were finding me as their parent. And I have openly conveyed them that whatever difficulty you feel, whatever topic you want to discuss, you can discuss openly. If you feel that you should separately talk to me, I will find my time. I will give you time. I will give you my ears. I will have non-judgmental approach with you. And that is why some students used to approach to me. Even many boys used to approach, and when they used to confuse and cry because they were not prepared, they were not known what the nocturnal emission means. So first experience about that, it was bit surprising, fearful, and it was disgusting to some students. So they approached to me, asked to me, he said, this is what happening, is it normal, is it something wrong happened to me, like this. When Archana madam, she's an excellent biology teacher, and even when she worked with a residential school exclusively for boys, so boys also used to approach to madam, and they were seeking those information which are not mentioned in the syllabus, because mostly boys are not made aware what menstrual cycles are, though it is a part of their syllabus. But the way it was explained to the boys in such a way that boys came up forward, and then they realized that this is a natural process, and my sisters and my mother go through periodically through this process, and they need rest sometimes, they need a relaxed mood, which we were not knowing. So now we will particularly take care that they need to be given a silence, they should be given the privacy and a good rest and support. So these children started cooperating to their family members and took up the initiative. I believe teaching sex education is something like this, cooperating each other and understanding. So some students used to approach to Archana ma'am, some students who were bullied unknowingly, they were also approached to me, and it was a very, very uncomfortable situation to me also. But I made it clear that this is a natural thing happened. The only thing is the person who pressurized you for that, their counseling was done. So yes, as you said, some students used to approach to me. Even now also I made it so clear that by chance certain things happen, then don't keep the guilt in your mind. Otherwise that leads to psychosomatic problem, and that manifests to your health. So if you feel like sharing anything which you don't want to share to anybody, this is a place you can come. I may not advise you much, but I would be listening non-judgmentally, and if I can support, I can. Otherwise, whatever talk has taken place, it would be exclusively between you and me. That secrecy is to be given, that confidence is to be given to the child. Then I think they approach, and when they release it out, and when we support them and make them aware that there are even the bright life is ahead in front of you. Whatever has happened, we can correct it, and we can go ahead strongly. Means if today you become victim, make sure that such situation should not come, and if it comes, you need to understand how to protect ourselves, how to maintain our dignity, what kind of communication should we have, what kind of firmness and confidence we have. I believe if anybody is confident, then bullying won't take place to that, or they won't become victim. So I think they need to be nurtured and handled very carefully, understanding their psychology.
That was a great answer to the question. So, now we talked about students coming out to you. But how will you react to a new teacher who is from the LGBTQ plus community and an open advocate to the LGBTQ plus community?
Fine. Means as you said, there are many people belong to this community, and as I said, everybody is to be respected. So, as you have asked, if any teacher joined recently to my organization, our school, so how would you react? So, personally, I must accept them. If anybody understand the beauty of being human, then they will definitely realize that there are beautiful things in every personality. And the teacher is a role model. Teacher is a torch bearer to the student. So we need to empower that teacher. We need to make them feel comfortable that if any such situation comes, if anybody do not cooperate you, don't worry, there are people like us who would be supporting you to execute whatever best you have. Rather to make them feel better, rather make them students feel proud that they are our teachers. So we need to have a proper bridge between them. Okay, so I think as a responsible person handling this teacher and handling the students should never feel that these are our teachers, belong to this community, and they make fuss of the situation. So students should take the best from them, and the teacher should able to execute all the objectives, all the ethos of education in a very pleasurable manner. So I think I would be supporting both the learners and the educator belonging to this community.
Sir, according to you, as a teacher and a counselor, what do you think a student's approach should be when he or she understands that they are from the LGBTQ plus community?
I think if we create a confidence in them, if we are non-judgmental, if we unnecessarily do not evaluate them by any behavior, by the academic performance they are getting, or because of their thoughts, if we remain neutral, and if there is a sympathy and empathy, okay, then in that case, if the student belonging to this community, if I develop a empathetical approach, every time I need to think that this is a respectable human being, and I must do something for their welfare. And if that is my mission of the life, and if I create a confidence in those children that you should open it, you should able to express yourself, then I think they can approach with confidence. If they directly do not approach, they can bend down everything and seek the help. I believe there are very good people around us who are willing to help to anyone. So I think the students of this community should also very carefully identify that which will be my area from whom I can receive help in a scientific manner, as a parent, as a teacher, I get the support where my secrecy will be maintained, where I will not be judged, and I will be fully supported with that trust and belief. I mean, if we create that wave in the students, I think they will come up with their problems, and in future these problems will not be there. I feel they will get the insight to understand the beauty of the life, and they lead their life successfully and meet their purpose of life, I hope.
So, the concept of pride is to be proud of who we are and to be not ashamed by the taboos that exist in the society about the LGBTQ plus community, and not just by the LGBTQ plus community, but the heterosexuals around them, to respect them for who they are. So, what do you think about the concept of pride as it is?
Yeah, basically concept of pride is a universal value, And that is not restricted to particular community. It is very common for you and me. Feeling pride, feeling good about ourselves. When it takes place, when I understand myself, when I introspect myself, when I make a SWOT analysis. Here I won't be elaborating what SWOT means. But if I know what good things are within me, what shortcomings I have, what will be my opportunity, how I seek help, and what are my threats. If I analyze this with someone's support, so I think we start respecting ourselves. We discover the qualities, hidden qualities within us. And if the society support to that person, if society understand that person and help to take that quality, the better quality up to expected level, then I think we are indirectly supporting that person of this particular community to make them feel proud. Okay? And a different kind of outlook in their life, very positive outlook, a very positive approach, a complete paradigm shift looking towards the life and to the world, that develop. And whatever they would be doing, everything will be fantastic, everything will be meaningful, and at every moment they will enjoy the pride. So I think it's a part of the personality how to develop the pride. And I think for that purpose, parents, teachers, and the community are also supporting. So pride is our birthright. I must have pride. Even if any handicapped child is there, must have pride. And they have done wonderful things. As a teacher, I feel teacher should include certain moral stories and the role models by those people in front of the student. So student will also feel that despite of lot of difficulty, they could achieve. And fortunately, there are many such clips available, maybe on YouTube. So teachers and parents should work it out and support these children to make them feel pride, to make them feel that they are extremely useful people of the society.
Thank you, sir, so much for your time and your efforts for this interview. And we are very grateful because very few people actually come forward and talk about such topics. They, as I said, the taboos surrounding this are very real. And it makes people very awkward while talking about this topic. And you came forward, and I am sure that this interview will help a lot of teenagers come to terms with their sexuality. So thank you so much, and we can end the interview here if you want to say something.
I just conclude in short. The topic which we have spoken today, its length, breadth, and depth is too much. It goes to infinity. I mean, I don't feel that I could, my little short discussion would complete the topic. It is still incomplete. But I feel it's a good beginning. To get more and more knowledge, we should seek help from media, the people around us, the teachers, parents. And if everyone is updated, then I think we can help to those who are the future of our country. So I express my thanks and gratitude to the team ThoughtSeal who has come up with a little untouched topic, but this is very important. So I think through this education, we update ourselves and develop the wisdom, keeping the Indian culture at the basis, develop the life skill, and remain safe, remain protected, remain confident, and we would never become victim. Rather, we support to other system and let everybody develop, everybody grow. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.